Scorpio Moon 18 coming back at you with another round of some deep thoughts, truths, and basically knowledge that we can use to uplift and rise ourselves from the lower dimensions of frequency and vibration. Now, when I came to you guys before, I came to you guys on a level of the mind. Remember the Fantastic Four I taught you all about: the mind, the body, the spirit or soul, and money or purse. All very important topics. But for today, we're going to work on the body. Happy Mother's Day. Shout out to all the mothers out there. My mother, my wife, my daughters, my stepdaughters, my cousins, friends, everyone. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. Now, we went over the importance of your mind, how to clear your mind and get your mind right. Today, we're going to go on the body. How important is it to improve your health and maintain your health so that you can have great health now, whether you're very young, middle-aged, or even if you are a little older, a little further along in life, you can still maintain quality health. Because without health, you have nothing else. Nothing else in your life will matter. Nothing else in your life will be impactful. No amount of money, no amount of enjoyments, if you will call it that, because you won't be able to enjoy anything in this world, will be worth anything if you have very, very poor health, or even marginal health. Now, the first thing we have to understand is no one is responsible for your health but you. Oh, I have good health insurance. I have good health care. Just listen to how that sounds. I have good health insurance. I mean, yes, very important to have that, you know. We should have it free like other countries, but I digress. Prevention is worth way more than cure. So, other than an unforeseeable accident or something of that nature, which our healthcare system in the United States is very well versed and very skilled at taking care of, you know, blunt force trauma, any kind of traumatic injury. We have the sciences to, you know, suture wounds, mend broken bones, you know, to basically do a whole lot of surgical procedures that are very advanced, open heart surgery and the like. And you know, hey, I'm not saying that, you know, modern day medicine here in the United States or in the West in general or whatever, or throughout the world is not needed. That, of course, it's very well needed, and you know, shout out to all of the incredible surgeons out here. However, when it comes to nutrition, diet, you know, that is something that you yourself should be, you know, involved in your own life. You don't want somebody, some doctor, especially here in the West, who really is not as well versed at all as, you know, the ancient doctors of the Chinese, of the Ben Kao, the Chinese system of herbal medicine, or the Ayurveda of ancient India, or India's system of herbal medicine. You know, and you have many indigenous peoples from all four corners of the world that utilize herbs and different things. Well, the first thing I will tell you to do is to really take care of your own health. You got to understand we live in a very toxic world. We are bombarded 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 360 days a year with EMF waves coming from the high-tech electronic devices that we have in our homes, whether that be televisions, smartphones, computers, tablets, electrical lights, electrical lines over our heads that help deliver these electrical currents into our homes. If you live near a power, an electrical grid, power, one of those power plants, you know what I'm talking about, where the electricity is emanating from, those are huge generators of EMF, electric magnetic fields, which bombard our bodies with electrosmog or electromagnetic radiation, which breaks down our internal organs, wreaks havoc on our body, and creates a lot of the diseases and ills that mankind face today. Chemtrails flying above us with all of their noxious and toxic fumes that is being just pretty much interspersed throughout our atmosphere above. Not to mention all of the many toxins from the different trash and plastics, which that's a whole nother subject. The convenience but evil of plastics. Okay, back in the day they used mostly glass containers, not plastic, because plastic with all of its all of its toxic materials contained within the plastic itself can leach into food and drink. That's been proven. But anyway, how do we get away? What do we do to mitigate and even eliminate a lot of the outside sources of toxins, as well as our own GMO, genetically modified foods and drinks that we're ingesting in our bodies, knowingly and unknowingly, that is further creating a perfect storm of disease? Well, number one, try to drink water as much as possible. There's a gentleman, I think he is now transitioned or deceased. Shout out to the memory of Dr. Batmanjelid from, I believe he was from the Middle East, Pakistan, I believe. He spoke of, you are not sick, you're just thirsty. That was one of his books I read many years ago. If you can look up the name of Batmanjelid, or water, the benefits of drinking water, actually. And actually drinking water, Dr. Batmanjelid actually suggested that one drink water but add salt to it. Not table salt. Table salt, anything bleached. White table salt, white bread, white sugar, all of those things are horrible for your body. Okay? You can replace those things with more natural ingredients that's going to benefit your body much better, which I will go into later in this video. But however, he suggested you put like kosher salt, sea salt, or pink Himalayan salt, which I suggest more than even sea salt, with all of the, from the Fukushima nuclear power plant disaster several years ago. You know, we have a large amount of radiation in our rivers and in our ocean and waterways. So you got to be careful. I'm not saying that we can't use or eat seafood or anything from the ocean at all, but just be careful and be aware of where they're sourced from, both your seafood as well as your sea salt. But the body needs salt. The body doesn't need table salt, because that's not real salt. That's destructive. That's toxic. You know, the salt that pours, the real salt doesn't look like that. Real salt actually look like little blocks. They look like little chunks. They come in little chunks, but they don't pour like sand, like that table salt. That's garbage. You know, guys, get away from that. You know, It causes a myriad of health problems, which I won't go into here, but you can research it for yourself. The dangers of table salt, you know. But anyway, you add a little bit of Himalayan pink salt, or some kosher salt or sea salt to your water, and you drink water often every day. How many should you drink? Some people say 8 glasses a day. You should drink as much water as your body weight, or around about that much is your body weight. That's how much you should be drinking your water a day. If you drink enough water, I would say, for me, I'm 6'2", I'm a tall guy. I drink about, I would say, 6 glasses, 5 to 6 a day, good glasses of water, because you want your body to stay hydrated. You want to give your inner organs, you want them to work to the best of their ability. So you want to stay hydrated. We're 80%, what are we, 80% water? So water intake is very, very important. The type of water you take in is very important, because a lot of the water they're giving us is basically, we're spending a whole lot of money for tap water and things. Do your research on which is the best bottled water. If you could get a water filtration system, that's probably best. If you lived off the grid, or you live in the country, or you live in a more rustic, how can I say it, suburban area, where you're more out in the country. If you had a well water, that would be excellent. Source of pristine groundwater. But anyway, water itself is extremely important for you to have. Never neglect water. Try to drink water as much. Find out what your body weight is, and try to drink at least that. Do your little mathematics there. But I would say, just starting off, at least 4 glasses of water you should drink a day, or bottles of water. 4. Add that little pink Himalayan sea salt, because your body needs that salt in order to really get inside on a cellular level of the cells, and allow your body to actually function to a optimal level. Basically. So water is the most important nutrient. The next thing is fruits and vegetables. Make sure they're organic, of course. Wash your fruits and vegetables thoroughly, of course, because we don't know, especially us living in major cities throughout the United States and the world, we don't know, what's really on it. Pesticides, they can tell us anything organic or whatever, but we want to do our due diligence, and we want to be able to, clean our fruits and vegetables thoroughly before we use them and give them to our children, our family as well. Consume these products. Fruit, a plant-based diet has long been proven to actually benefit man in a very, very, very high quality way, because your body needs foods that are high in nutrients, high in natural vitamins and minerals and phytonutrients, and that's what fruit and vegetables provide. If you eat lots of the citrus fruits, any fruit is good. Berries. The berries are super packed with antioxidants, a lot of cancer fighting properties that allow you to have more vibrant looking skin and healthier skin, hair, and nails, and eyes. Nuts along with fruits and berries bring you a vibrant skin, strong immune systems. It provides you, particularly walnuts, with omega-3 fatty acids that are found mostly in fish such as salmon and other fish. So it's a plant-based form of omega-3s, which is essential for your skin, your bones, your joints, just packed with nutrients. A superfood indeed. Vegetables, all of the cruciferous vegetables your broccoli, your cauliflower, your Brussels sprouts, you know, kale, cabbage, spinach. All of those guys are just tremendous cancer fighters and cancer preventers. They are tremendous in keeping you vibrant and youthful looking and young for a long, long time, and basically contribute to the lengthening of your telomeres. Telomeres look like little shoestrings. They are in our cells, and they look like little, the ends of shoestrings when you tie your shoes. The telomeres, with age, they get shorter and shorter and shorter, and when they finally are gone, you're gone. You die. So the longer your telomeres are, the longer your life will be, your physical life, in the vibrant nature of your body and your physical well-being will be expressed through eating foods that will lengthen our telomeres or give us the antioxidants and the protections to allow our bodies to produce more telomerase, which causes these longevity, life lengthening cells to expand. Okay. Also, another great food item to utilize is any one of that whole family of garlic and onions, leeks and shallots. I'm trying to remember the name of the family of veggies that's called onions and garlics. It escapes me right now. But that whole family is just tremendous in just giving your immune system a super boost, a super turbo boost against illnesses such as flus, colds, infections, viruses, fungal infections. There was a time during the Dark Ages or the Middle Ages, there were 3 robbers when Europe was being decimated by the bubonic plague. There were 3 robbers who went around robbing dead bodies. Yeah, I know it's terrible, but yeah, I know it's pitiful what they did. It was, but we're going somewhere with this. They were taking items, valuable items of value, gold, jewelry, whatever. They were taken from the corpses of people who had died, who had succumbed to the bubonic plague, but they never got sick. When they were finally captured, they were given a choice. They were finally captured. The governor or the ruler, the duke or king or whatever guy ruled the area that they were caught. He gave them an ultimatum. He said, either A, you're going to be put to death for your crimes. But he didn't want to put them to death. He was more interested in how the hell did they survive the bubonic plague. And they were taking valuables off of these dead bodies of people who died from the plague. So they said, if you give us your secret of how you survived the plague, we will not put you to death. We'll not put you to death. You'll be jailed or whatever. I guess they were. I can't remember now, but you won't be put to death. And they said that there were 3 things they use in an ingredient, which they call it 3 thieves remedy today. Number 1, they use vinegar. Vinegar is extremely powerful. It cleanses the body. It's an extremely potent cleanser of the body when you detox the body. Apple cider vinegar or any vinegar, any fermented vinegar, is very good in order to give the body a group of probiotics known as the mother of vinegar. It will detox your body. It will boost your immune system, your skin, your hair, your eyes, your bone, your teeth, and it's very powerful. The other ingredient, I think they used angelica root, which is very powerful herbal root from the European the European herbal treatise. Angelica root, I don't know a whole lot about it, you guys, but I know that it is very, very powerful in cleansing of the body, I believe, detoxing the body. And then last but not least, garlic. Garlic for centuries have been known to keep away vampires, to repel evil spirits, and it was eaten by Roman soldiers prior to battle and gladiators prior to their gladiatorial games. Garlic, although the stinking rose, as it's been affectionately called, I mean, although people don't like the smell of it, garlic is probably one of the top superfoods, one of the oldest superfoods ever that you can ever use for your health and well-being. It boosts the immune system. It strengthens the bones, the teeth. It has an enviable amount of nutrients within it. Garlic just is a powerful cancer preventer. Garlic kills almost any kind of disease. Disease can't really exist in the presence of garlic. And you might say, well, how am I going to take garlic? Because garlic will make your breath stink, or your butt. No, not necessarily. If you are worried about the smell of garlic, garlic will really come out mostly if you try to chew it, which is an exercise and believe me, futility, because it burns like hell. So you trying to, some people can do it, I'm sure, but eating garlic is not recommended. It's so very potent and pungent and spicy. It burns the hell out of your mouth your membranes of your oral membrane. So not recommended. That way you will have funky breath. However, if you chop garlic up in small little pieces that you can swallow like a pill, chop it up, slice it and dice it, leave it for 10 minutes, and then swallow it with a glass of water. You can add some lemon to the water if you so choose. And you do that each and every day, once or twice a day. I guarantee you, your life will change. You will almost never be sick. Guarantee you that. So garlic, tremendous, very, very powerful superfood that needs to be added to everyone's diet weekly. You know, you should take at least once a day. And if you feel like you coming down with something, or you're feeling sick or whatever, double the dose. And I guarantee you, whatever you're wrestling will be gone in a very short amount of time. Okay, so garlic. The allium vegetables, that group, that family, the garlic, the onions, the shallots, the leeks, it's called alliums, A-L-L-I-U-M, allium vegetables, okay? Very powerful family for your health. Very powerful food group that you can use every day for extreme health. Meat. Now, as I said before, I'm not a vegetarian or a vegan. However, I respect those that are. I do eat meat. However, I try to be responsible in eating meat. I try to eat meat from reputable grocers that are reputable. And I also try to eat meat sparingly, not that often. I try to eat it sparingly, not that often. So, when I say sparingly, I mean when you eat meat, quality meat would be bison. That's better than beef. Red meat is probably on the lowest level, because with animal proteins, not only are you dealing with all of the GMOs and all of the antibodies that they've used to inject into the animal prior to slaughtering the animal, but also the way that here in the United States they slaughter animals, and this very inhumane, almost like a distributor belt kind of way. It's really gross and inhumane to the animal, and if you saw the process, you probably wouldn't want to eat meat at all. In many countries, in many cultures, the Islamic culture and the Hebrew culture, you are supposed to dispatch of an animal very humanely, and you're supposed to dispatch of the animal very quickly, so that the animal and the blood has to drain out in a certain way, because you're not supposed to eat the blood within the meat, because that's a whole nother ball game, because of the fear that is actually captured in the animal's blood. You know, it's on a spiritual level as well as other things. When the animals know they're going to die and they're scared and they have that fight or flight hormone in the blood, and you know, the fear and the pain and trepidation of the animal prior to slaughter, you're eating all of that. You're getting all of that, because food is basically information. So you're getting all that in your body, and that's what causes all the problems we have in the West in general, but the United States in particular as well. Because again, you know, the United States is a corporation, and these many corporations care about the bottom line. They don't really care about you, really, per se, especially when they're doing it in a, you know, a distributor belt mass factory type processing method. Okay, when the animal is at peace, when the animal is, you know, slaughtered or dispatched quickly, like halal in Islam or kosher in Hebrew or Jewish traditions, then you don't get, and then the blood drain properly, you get more of an organic meat. And of course those animals from those cultures I just named are pretty much fed what plant-eating animals are supposed to eat, which is plant-based and not a whole lot of artificial garbage that these animals are given in these mass-produced slaughterhouses here in the United States. But again, red meat, your body digests red meat at a much slower rate. You know, you don't want, so that's why you want to stay away from red meat as much as possible, meaning beef, you know, anything from the cow, the beef, the steak, you know, even sheep. But if you're going to eat red meat, lamb is the best. Lamb, and to a second level degree, I would say goats. The smaller the animal, the better it is for you. And that's everything too. If you're going to eat flesh, meat, if you're still eating animal protein, smaller is better, less is more. Smaller portions, and the animal itself should be a smaller animal. The bigger the animal, the bigger the fish, you know, the less healthy their flesh is for you. So a sheep or a goat is better than a cow. Now a bison is on the same level as a cow. A bison is nothing but a wild ox, a wild cow, but the flesh of a bison is more lean, and it's much, and because the bison graze in a more organic manner, most bison farms are, you know, not mass produced yet like cattle. You're eating a more organic type and healthier type of animal protein. Of course, fish, very, very healthy, because fish digest, your digestive system is easier on your digestive system. Your digestive system is able to take it in and process it easier and eliminate it. Poultry, of course, chickens today, if you can get an organic, cage-free, organic chicken, that's better. Other type of poultry such as ducks, or my son does quail, or some of the wildfowl, or the game, if you will, is much healthier than modern day farm raised chickens, mass produced chickens. Just because they say farm raised, that means nothing. They could be mass produced. You want those chickens that are raised by the smaller farms, if any of them, you know, your local farmer, if you could. Those are better, organic. And like I said, when you do eat seafood or poultry or red meat, try to make your portions smaller, and your plants, your vegetables, your fruit, your rice, or whatever you're eating along with it, are larger, and therefore, you know, you'll have that's a healthier diet. Pork, I don't promote pork at all, because pig is one of the most filthiest animals that you can eat. Muslims and Jews or Hebrews aren't the only one that don't eat pork. For you Christians out there that practice Christianity, all you got to do is open up the Old Testament. It'll show you right there in Leviticus, I believe, where it shows all of the laws, the dietary laws, and laws of how people are supposed to practice, the laws people are supposed to follow. The dietary laws forbid swine, pork, you know. Pig is very, very, very a noxious flesh that can contain and retain all types of diseases, worms such as the pinworm, the pig, the lifestyle of the pig, the modern pig, the way they live, the way they eat, the filth that they eat, the things they are fed. You would not want to put that into your body. You would not want to eat and digest that flesh. Do not recommend swine at all. Another part of your health is sleep, guys. Most people don't get enough sleep at all. Most people get very, very minimum amount of sleep. And sleep is something that we need. We have to have sleep, because without sleep, we have nothing. Nothing at all. As far as our health will go downhill very fast. That's why I don't recommend, especially when you get middle age, you get in a certain age range, never work at night, because it's also been studied that people who work at night or have these jobs that require you to stay up all night, night owl jobs, especially when you're middle age or a little older, they don't live that long, because you're getting out of your body's natural biorhythms. We weren't meant to be nocturnal. I know we do have night life in all these things, modern humans, but we weren't meant to be nocturnal. Okay? So when you make a living from working at night, you're doing yourself a huge disservice. You're doing your health a huge disservice. And depending on your age, you're more than likely you're taking off years from your life, because you need sleep. Sleep is extremely important for our body to repair itself, for our body to build and repair. So definitely sleep is there as well. And also, you have tea, various teas, green teas. I drink matcha green tea, which is high in antioxidant, high in flavonoids, very, very high in chlorophyll. Which is like the blood of plants. That's what make the leaves of plants green. And when you take in tongue twisted that time, chlorophyll from different food sources, you really build and boost and cleanse your own blood. So the teas are very, very high in antioxidants. Black tea is processed. It's minimally high in antioxidant. Green tea is higher. It's not as is very little, not that processed, and the highest tea being white tea, which is baby tea leaves, tea buds that have like little silver hairs on them. That's why they call them white tea. White tea is extremely high, probably the highest in antioxidants. White tea and matcha green tea. Any probiotic food that's going to add probiotics to your diet. As we well know now, probiotics are, those friendly bacteria in our gut that help us to stay strong, help strengthen our immune system. They help us to think clearly. The gut is known as the second brain. They help our skin, they help our bones, they help our eyes, our teeth. There's no part or no function of the human body that probiotics don't have some type of impact on. So all of the fermented foods that I'm about to name, make sure you include in your diet. Kimchi, sauerkraut, kefir, Greek yogurt, fermented pickles, apple cider vinegar, kombucha, which is fermented tea, by the way, and many, many, many more foods are fermented. Look up and research the benefits of fermented foods, and then research the benefits of probiotics. Very important. That's why kids today are a little more sick, not as than kids of former years, because everything's so pristine. See, back in the day when I was a kid, back in the 1970s, man, we used to, after cartoons went off, our parents and grandparents kicked us out the house, told us to go play. And we played in the dirt, we played sports, we played and wrestled and, kicked around outside in nature for a couple of hours, and we had dirt on us. We had to take a shower, but that way we were able to contract bacteria, and which humans been doing for thousands of years. And that bacteria, many of it is, all bacteria is bad bacteria. A lot of bacteria is good bacteria, and that bacteria helped us to stay healthy. So anyway, guys, that's a little bit on health. Just a few thoughts. So we've covered the mind, we covered the body. We're going to come back next time with the spirit, and then we're going to drop it, and then we're going to end it out with money, purse, investing, passive income, starting your own entrepreneurship, not depending on the corporate plantation to take care of you forever, to get away from that. All right, guys, thank you for your time. Darrell King, aka Scorpio Moon 18. Like, share, subscribe. I thank you in advance, and may you have a wonderful day. And again, happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers out there. Peace.